I smell murder in the air. Murder!
What? Murder?
Nanny, stop that.
I think I smell it too. The deep, dank smell of murder.
Petunia, don't be silly. It's probably the smell of mold.
No,
Who in this day
Catherine.
and age writes a will in which their only child has to be married to inherit her family home and money? It's 1908, for heaven's sake.
Catherine, you don't have to marry Algernon.
If I don't, I'll be destitute. No home, no money. And what happens to you, to Petunia?
You're too old to find other work, Nanny.
Then marry him and then divorce him.
According to the will, divorce disqualifies me as well.
Your father never got over the fact that you weren't born a boy. He thought women should be wives, not doctors.
You want to be a doctor? Women can't be doctors. I mean, who's ever heard of such a thing?
Never mind. We've had a long journey and everyone is very tired.
The aura in this room is gray, the color of darkness and defeat, dreams dying, nothing but gray.
Nanny, stop it.
You mean gray, like fog rolling in? I think I see it too. Blinding, stupefying fog.
You see what you did, Nanny?
Well, pardon me for living and telling the story.
I want to go home.
We're not going home. I'm getting married. We're staying in the East Wing visitor suite on the 3rd floor. Won't you go up and start unpacking?
Upstairs? By myself?
Yes.
All right.
Go on then.
I'm going.
You're actually not moving even a little.
Here I go now. By myself. At the door. To go upstairs.
You're standing so still, it's as if you've taken root.
I'm going. I mean, unless anyone stops me. All right.
Nanny, you know how impressionable she is. Why would you talk fog and murder?
Because I'm psychic. It's a gift, actually.
I've known you my whole life. You've never mentioned this psychic gift of yours before.
Speaking of gifts, where is your bodyguard?
I don't know. Nor do I know why you consider a bodyguard an appropriate wedding gift.
Shh. No one must know. It doesn't look good. Oh, there he is, jogging around the perimeter, making sure everything is in order.
For heaven's sake, Nanny, we're at the home of my fiancé, not in a war zone.
Oh, here he comes now. My goodness, he's fast. Look out.
Ha!
Can't he walk in like a normal human being? That is extremely unnerving.
Everything about this wedding is unnerving.
I'm going upstairs.
Good word. Now let's check the stables to see if anything's saddled. Quick getaway.
I never thought I'd live to see the day where our nephew Algernon would marry Catherine, and where we wouldn't become the mistresses of this, our family home.
They're not married yet, and we still have to give them our surprise gift tonight.
We always hoped he would marry Lady Virginia.
She's been sweet on him for years, but no one knows exactly where she is.
Has she gone missing?
All we know is that she's off somewhere on a scientific expedition with Algernon's brother Heathcliff. Now, we haven't heard from them in some time, and they haven't returned our telegram that we sent to them to Ulaanbaatar, which is somewhere on the South Asian continent.
Now run along to the kitchen and help Alma with her cooking. Prudence, let's check the guest bedrooms.
Spencer, stop lollygagging and bring my luggage in here.
I'm coming.
Where are the servants? Spencer!
Here I am, darling. There seems to be an awful lot of luggage for just a wedding.
The wedding, I have to look my best. For Algernon. I mean, for his marriage to the mousy Catherine. I don't know what he sees in her.
I hear she is very rich.
As is Algernon.
Very, very rich.
Marrying her for her money. That would explain everything.
It still doesn't explain why you seem to be more interested in Algernon than you are in me. Your husband. Why is that?
My dear, dreary husband. If you have to ask, I
I
am.
have to ask, why? Why is it? Why is it? I have to know. Why, Scarlet? Why are you more interested?
Bravo, darling. Do something useful.
What shall I do?
You're such a sweet simpleton, Spencer. Call for the servants.
Hello? Hello?
Thoughtful, timid Spencer. Hey!
I heard yelling. Mr. and Mrs. de Delvine, welcome to Wuthering Heights.
Heathcliff, Lady Virginia!
Heathcliff? Oh, it's the De Delvines.
Prudence, Constance, they're standing right there.
We see that.
We're not blind.
Although, dear Constance, I fear I may be deaf after Scarlet's caterwauling.
My ears are aflame with pain.
Our apologies for the yelling.
No apology necessary, dear Spencer.
And it wasn't you who was yelling. It was your hooligan wife.
I'm not a hooligan.
No, your would-be homewrecker is what you are.
You're trying to make me leave. But good neighbor that he is, Algernon invited us to this wedding, and I'm determined to stay for this wedding, no matter what you think.
If you go into the parlor, I'll bring you some tea. Betty will take your luggage up to your room.
Lulu, dear, you don't have to curtsy. There's no royalty here.
I apologize.
You've done nothing to apologize for.
Sorry.
Or to be sorry for. It's quite the same thing.
I am so stupid.
No.
Maybe a little.
Scarlet, she's just a girl.
A girl who's a little stupid.
Please forgive me.
Lulu, come with me. I need help.
Let me help.
Don't do the work of a servant, Spencer. It's unseemly. Have I taught you nothing?
It's fine. I'll manage.
Bertie, there you are. Have we heard from Lady Virginia yet?
No, sir, we have not. Are you all right?
Of course.
If you'll forgive me saying so, you seem sorrowful, especially considering you're to be married tomorrow. Is it because of the finances?
Partially, and on top of that, I am marrying a woman who is being forced by circumstance to marry me. She doesn't love me.
And do you love her?
Catherine's been a friend since childhood. Of course I love her.
As a friend or as a wife?
As a... both, of course.
Your hesitation speaks of what your tongue is loath to. Master, surely there is a way to stop this marriage.
If we don't marry, we are both ruined. I shouldn't have spoken of it, Bertie. We will never speak of this again.
Understood.
I'm going for a walk.
Oh, before you do, your aunts made me promise that you would apply Vicks Vapor Rub.
Bertie, I don't need...
It would be so much easier just to do it, sir. They raised you and have always insisted you have weak lungs. It makes them happy.
All right.
Come on now. There you go. That's good, sir. Oh, be careful of the cliffs now.
Bertie, Prudence and Constance are fit to be tied. They so dislike Scarlet.
Or maybe they dislike the thought of Catherine being the mistress of the house. They're used to having their own way around here.
Lulu, that sounds very much like gossip.
I'm sorry. I just heard them talking.
And now she's carrying tales.
I apologize. I am a horrible person.
You're not horrible. Alma said much the same very thing to me this very morning in the kitchen.
I might have said it, but I wasn't gossiping.
I don't see the difference.
Come on then, before the tea gets...
It's going to be a long weekend. I must use the power of positive thinking.
I near put my back out looking those suitcases for Scarlett de Delvine. She is awful.
Oh, well, she's not that bad. The power of positive thinking, Betty. Now turn that frown upside down.
All right, Bertie. I'll do my best to keep smiling.
My pillows are practically flat. Either fluff them fully or get me new ones.
Right away.
Of course.
Onward and upwards.
Oh, Heathcliff, we've made it. Oh, it feels so good to be back from our travels. After 2 years, it must feel good for you to be back.
Yes, it does. Remember how cold the Antarctic was?
Do I? But then you insisted on us going to the Amazon to warm up, and it was very, very hot.
So hot that we had to go all the way to the Asian steppes in midwinter just to cool off.
And on your insistence, turning what was meant to be a 2-month trip into a 2-year one.
What an adventure.
I'm looking so forward to seeing Algernon.
Yes, where is he? And where are my dear aunts?
No!
Could that be them?
Ah!
Help! Thief! Cut purse!
Get off of him, you ruffian!
Don't!
Tie her up, Heathcliff. I've got plenty of rope.
No!
No! I'm an old lady, for crying out loud.
Nanny.
You know this woman?
It's Catherine's nanny. Give us a hug. This is my friend and fellow explorer, Lady Virginia.
Hello.
Let me up!
And what about this one? I could toss him off the cliff.
No!
Did somebody ask your opinion?
Oh.
No, don't gag him. That's Brutus. He's with me.
Who's Brutus?
He's my, nurse.
A male nurse.
Are you ill?
No, I'm psychic and the universe speaks to me. It said get a nurse, a male nurse to guard my body as nurses do.
You don't say.
Why, there's Heathcliff and Lady Virginia. Hello.
Is that you, Lady Virginia? Sitting atop a strange man?
That can't be Lady Virginia.
It is. Hello. Delightful to see you all.
You're sitting atop a man.
That's Brutus. He's with me.
Someone get her off of me, please.
Bertie, don't look so shocked. Look on the bright side. Our guests have got on familiar terms very quickly.
Bertie, be a love and draw bath for me, would you?
Oh, and one for me. Very, very hot. We just got back from Mongolia, where we followed in the footsteps of Genghis Khan.
We camped in yurts, burned dried yak poop for warmth, and drank irag for sustenance.
What's irag?
It's fermented mare's milk.
You'll have to give me the recipe.
You milk a mare, and then you let the milk spoil.
Yeah.
To get here, we crossed the sea working on a cargo ship. We haven't bathed in months or changed our clothes.
You see why I tackled him? A wild man running towards the house.
You did exactly the right thing, Brutus. On the basis of their hair alone, I'm surprised these two haven't been arrested for disturbing the peace.
Oh, we were arrested in Manchester, but we broke free and ran away.
You ran here from Manchester?
We didn't want to miss the wedding.
So, burning yak poop, is that what that smell is?
A natural odor not often encountered these days, eh, Betty?
In all haste, Bertie, let's draw those baths. Follow us, please.
I'll alert them. I don't know about you, Brutus, but I'm exhausted running through the fields at my age.
Brutus is young and strong. He's not exhausted. He's embarrassed. He's embarrassed that one hog-tied him like that. He'll never be the same.
Don't be embarrassed. Times are changing and women are too. Some of them don't wear hats or gloves. Have you noticed? They're cutting their hair short and showing their ankles. It's scandalous.
I've never met a woman like that. She wears boots, for crying out loud. Her hair looked like the nest of angry birds. She has moth in her hair. Moth! And she threw me on the couch like I was a feather. My life has no meaning.
You are a circus acrobat turned bodyguard pretending to be a male nurse, and you have a job to do. Protecting Catherine from herself. That's meaning enough for anyone. Where is Algernon?
He's out walking. He's always out walking the fields. Rain or shine, fog or snow. He's out walking.
Lulu, dear, what have I said about exaggeration?
I'm sorry.
So where is he?
Who's that manly man with you?
This is Brutus, my nurse.
A male nurse?
I know it's unusual, but times are changing.
I think it's commendable, just commendable. Maybe you'll want to learn how to cook.
I'd love to help with the teaching.
Come on, Lulu, we need to get more tea. Lulu!
Sorry, coming.
I think it is nap time, Brutus.
But I'm not tired.
No! Have you forgotten the code words already?
Oh, yes, I'll go.
Hello, Nanny. Hope you had a good journey.
We did, thank you.
Would you care to see the ballroom where the reception will be? Then we'll have tea.
I would love to.
Nanny, Constance, and Prudence exit. A hooded Brutus enters, stealthily carrying a large sheet-wrapped bundle that looks like it holds a body. He puts the bundle in the window seat, then exits.
Finally, some refreshments. We're famished.
Would you like to join the aunts in the parlor, or would you take tea here?
You have to ask, Alma. Really?
Just making sure. I'll serve it here.
All those black flowers. Black? Very unusual for a wedding.
Yes, they're dead. We went through some trouble to get dead roses that hadn't yet crumbled.
Hi, I'm Spencer Day Dalveen, and this is my wife, Scarlett.
I'm Catherine's nanny.
And they call you, let me guess, Nanny?
Yes, they do.
How original.
We should have warned you.
She's awful.
I feel I must defend my wife. She's not that awful. On the other hand, I think you'll find this tea delicious.
Nanny, I can't find Catherine.
She's probably out walking.
Heathcliff and Lady Virginia will be down shortly.
It'll be very clean. Heathcliff asked for his water practically boiling.
Oh, beloved Heathcliff.
And the Lady Virginia. We do so love her. She's known Algernon since she was a child. Just like Catherine, actually. Only better.
Much better.
We'll just refill the teapot.
We wonder. We haven't seen Catherine around here in years, and then all of a sudden we hear she's marrying Algernon? How did that come about, we wonder?
Oh, well, they've been corresponding and...
I don't think I'll wait 2 years to bathe ever again. That bath was glorious.
Lady Virginia, we're so glad you're here.
Dear Heathcliff.
We have missed you so.
It's so good to have the baby of the family back home.
Poor motherless child.
I wasn't motherless. I had two mothers, my dear aunties, the best in the world.
Oh, Heathcliff, always the sweetest boy.
No wonder we spoiled him.
Not at all. You raised me to appreciate the little things in life. And I do, but I especially appreciate the two of you.
Oh.
Where's Algernon?
He's out walking.
Oh.
Oh, is this his scarf? I can take it to him. I remember what weak lungs he has.
So thoughtful.
And wait until you've had your tea.
It won't take long.
We won't hear of it. We've waited for 2 years for this moment.
All right. Anything my dear aunties want.
Petunia, dear, we've been so busy. Would you mind bringing the mail from outside?
From outside?
Yes, outside, at the end of the lane.
By myself?
Yes, by yourself.
But it's almost dark, and there's the smell of murder, you know.
That smell was probably Heathcliff and me before our baths.
Not another word, Petunia. You have to stop being afraid of every shadow. Off you go.
All right, I'm going.
And yet your feet are not moving. Go on.
All right. But are you sure?
Goodness, while we're all still young. Oh, wait. It's too late for Nanny and the aunts.
So,
If no one stops me, here I go. I'm gone. I mean, unless anyone has any second thought.
Get out!
First, I want to know if any funny business happened between you and Heathcliff.
Prudence, of course not. It was just a scientific expedition that turned into a slog of an adventure. Absolutely no funny business.
I can attest to that.
It was wrong of me to ask, but I don't regret it. I really wanted to know.
So, Nanny, you were telling us how this marriage between Algernon and Catherine came about.
Yes, how did it come about?
Oh, well, for some time there had been letters going back and forth, and
I
I
hope I'm
guess...
not too late for tea.
Hello, Algernon.
Heathcliff, welcome home, little brother.
Congratulations on your nuptials, Algernon. We had quite the trouble making it here, but we finally made it.
We? Is Lady Virginia?
Hello, Algernon.
Virginia.
That's it? She runs here from Manchester, and that's all you've got, Algernon?
Well, this is interesting.
Algernon, I need to talk to you. Privately.
Algernon Surprise is here! Prudence and I have hired the Roving Society of Poets and Yeomen to perform this evening as a present to our dear nephew Algernon.
But where is Catherine?
I don't know. Frankly, I'm starting to get a little bit worried.
We charge by the hour, which starts when I cross the threshold.
Which we've crossed.
Then let's begin. We can all tell Catherine what she's missed when she gets back.
I am Mackenzie, and we are the Roving Society of Poets and Yeomen, just back from a tour in Stratford and Avon.
So inspiring. Touring the countryside that brought us Shakespeare, the greatest poet the world has ever known. I'm Taylor, and this is Sydney.
We are honored to share the tradition of the best of English poetry in honor of your nuptials.
Make room. We don't just recite, we perform. Clear a space.
Poetry is a living, breathing entity that needs its own stage.
Presenting a medley of poems from Arthur William Edgar O'Shaughnessy, Gerard Manley Hopkins, and Thomas Hardy.
There's nothing as romantic as poetry.
We begin with O'Shaughnessy's We Are the Music Makers. We're to have music. Oh, how merry.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams.
World losers and world forsakers on whom the pale moon gleams.
Well, it lacked a melody, but I liked it.
There is a limit to positive thinking, Bertie. Or at least, there should be. Next is Hopkins. I wake and feel the fell of dark, not day.
Well, it's better than I don't wake because I'm dead, right, Betty?
Let's hear it and then decide.
I wake and feel the fell of dark, not day.
Dark.
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 Oh, what black hours we spent this night.
Dark night.
Dark. Dark night.
They got that right.
And my lament, lamenting.
Is cries countless, cries like dead letters sent to dearest him that lives, alas, alas.
Thank you. Very much. And now...
Neutral Tones by Thomas Hardy.
The smile on your mouth was the deadest thing alive, enough to have the strength to die. The strength to die, to die, to die.
And with a grin of bitterness that swept thereby, like an ominous bird, a wing. Whoosh!
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
What are they doing?
think it's supposed to be the sound of wings?
Since then, keen lessons that love deceives and rings with wrong have shaped to me Catherine's face, and a god-cursed sun, and a tree, and a pond edged gray sleeves.
End scene.
Catherine's face? Thomas Hardy didn't write.
Bravo! Brava!
And
Poetry is truth.
That was completely uncalled for. It is my life and I'll marry who I wish.
He's right. He should marry the woman he loves.
Now look what you've done, Algernon.
Me? It was those poets.
We just recite the poems that we were told to do. By them.
They were the ones that said to substitute Catherine's face for your face.
That was clever, wasn't it?
you know what would be fun? If Algernon reads his wedding vows. You could write them yourself, I assume?
Scarlet, you're doing that thing you do again.
What thing?
Being a complete and utter prat.
You will pay for that remark, Spencer.
Oh, I know, but it felt so awfully good to say it.
Good for you, Spencer.
We'd love some tea and to get out of this room.
Extremely uncomfortable in this room.
Follow me, poet.
No.
Brutus, what is it? What's happened?
This. I found this by the cliffs.
No, it's Catherine's. Oh, Catherine.
Nanny.
The poor dear.
What's happened?
It's Catherine. She must have slipped off the cliffs, fell into the water, and got swept away out to sea.
No, it can't be.
I saw Catherine fall down the cliff. I was at the mailbox and I saw the last rays of the light shawl, her ribbon, and her gleaming hair.
I'm so sorry, Algernon.
Swept away. I called her name over and over again.
Kathy.
No answer but the lapping of the waves.
You will stop that right now.
It's worse than the sound they made for the...
Oh, poor Catherine.
I was supposed to protect her.
Oh, my darling girl.
But then I found this on the cliff.
Her hair was pulled right out of her head?
No, Lulu, it's a wig. A bit suspicious, wouldn't you say?
Indeed, it's suspicious. One has to wonder if the same person who found the shawl, disguised in a long-haired wig, threw her off the cliff. I'm speaking, of course, of Brutus, who has already exhibited his aggressive proclivities by attacking...
He doesn't have a motive.
He's a brute. That's motive enough.
He's not a brute. He's innocent.
We don't know that. Tie him up. Tie him up right now.
Tie him up.
Tie him up. Tie him up. Tie him up.
Not again, no.
By the way, we're still on the clock, right?
I'm going out and looking for Catherine's body.
Oh, don't forget your jacket and scarf, dear brother.
If you're going out in the cold night air, we insist on more vapor rub for your throat.
I don't need any more vapor rub. I'm not a child.
It'll just take a second.
It's so much easier just to do it, sir.
She was my... I can't just stand around here. She was my wife, and now... Ugh! I've always hated this smell. I now smell like mothballs in a clothes closet. Thank you, Heathcliff.
What's that knocking?
It's the shutters banging on the sides of the windows.
Wait, no. It's coming from where you're sitting. It's the window seat.
She's fainted, dead away.
Quick, put her on the couch. And now, who knocks in the window seat?
Carefully, they open the window seat. Inside a sheet sits up, all scream.
It's a mummy.
Oh, thank goodness, Catherine, you're alive.
So the person I saw falling down the cliff wasn't Catherine. So it had to be Brutus. Brutus, who used to be a circus acrobat in Romania and can tumble down a cliff and not get hurt. Brutus, who, just in case anyone was out there, put on the wig and Catherine's shawl to impersonate her falling down the cliff. He wanted us to think Catherine was dead. But what?
Catherine, what happened? Who put you here?
I don't know. The last thing I remember is Brutus giving me a piece of candy or something.
Brutus put her in the window seat.
It too, Nanny? It was on your orders.
Nanny, stop pretending you're about to faint and explain yourself.
I did it because I don't want you marrying a man you don't love. You can't get married if you're not here for the wedding.
Speaking of marriage, this came in the mail. The envelope came open and I peeked in. It's a marriage license. Catherine and Algernon got married earlier today.
So the poets were for naught.
Poetry is never for naught.
We still get paid though, right?
We have a lot to explain, Catherine. None of this was done for... for...
Algernon!
Stay back! Algernon! Algernon? Oh no. He's dead. My brother is dead.
But how could he just die?
It was his weak lungs. I told you he had a cold.
I was with him at his doctor's examination last week for his physical. The doctor pronounced him completely healthy.
Let's review this interesting situation. So, although Catherine didn't want to marry Algernon, she did it to save herself from destitution. And now the day of, he's dead. Convenient, so she gets Wuthering Heights. Does that sound like a way?
What are you saying?
This was no natural death. It was murder, actually.
Tie her up! Tie her up!
I've been lying in a sheet in this window seat. I'm innocent.
I tried to tell you. Don't get married, I said.
Now is not a good time for an I told you so, Nanny.
I believe Catherine is innocent. There sits a guilty brute who drugged and stuffed this woman into the window seat.
I don't have a motive.
And no means. He's been tied up or falling off cliffs this whole day.
Scarlet, you have a motive. Everyone knows that you wanted Algernon in his wells, so you figured if you can't have him, no one can.
Oh, please. If I was a murderer, I would have killed my husband long ago.
Hey!
Maybe Spencer did it. His motive was his jealousy?
No, he couldn't have done it. He's got a noodle for a spine.
Hey!
Nanny had a motive. She didn't want Catherine marrying Algernon.
That's why I had Brutus put her in the window seat.
You take liberties, Nanny. You know that.
Yes, she does. Servants shouldn't put their employers in window seats. Horrific, dangerous. It's a gateway crime that could lead to murder. Tie her up.
That's ridiculous. You can't just tie her.
Tie her up!
Tie her up!
Tie her up!
The poets are out of control.
You see what you did, Nanny, with your auras and your voices from the universe?
That is exactly like saying I told you so.
I know. Listen, everybody. Algernon and I had a plan. I had no intention of taking his home or his land. We were friends. I just wanted to keep my home so that I and Nanny and the servants wouldn't be homeless. The marriage license is a...
That's illegal right there.
Tie her up.
I am tied up. The plan was to pretend we were married. Then I would go home and Algernon would roam the world looking for the woman he truly loved, Virginia.
Oh.
Catherine didn't marry him for his money. She knows something which even the aunts don't know. This estate is penniless.
No.
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 Yes, all of the money is gone. By pretending to marry him, she was going to give him money out of her own inheritance. That is love, actually.
Thank you, Bertie. The love of true friendship.
What happened here is murder.
So what killed him?
And who?
If we know what killed him, we can figure out who. We all had tea, we all had cookies. No one was even near him when he decided to go out and look for Catherine.
He should have put more Vicks on his throat.
We told him, but he didn't listen.
He should have put more Vicks on his throat.
We told him, but he didn't listen.
His throat. The scarf! He put on a scarf moments before he collapsed, right before we had tea. Heathcliff, you touched the scarf.
So?
You had gloves on. You have gloves on now.
So do you.
They're dress gloves. That's not where your
gloves. Not worth them inside.
My hands got cold, and I don't want to be touching a corpse with my bare hands. That cold that probably killed him is probably contagious.
In Mongolia, we came across a highly poisonous flower, the gelsemium flower. You could have made a tincture.
When we just got here.
During your bath, Bertie said you wanted the water practically boiling. That's when you made the tincture of gelsemium. The poison is on the glove, which you spread on the scarf when you picked it up. You then made sure he put it on right after the Vicks.
That was so clever, don't you think?
Wait a minute. The Vicks vapor rub. We may be able to save him. Hold your nose if you get close. There is poison mist around him.
Heathcliff is trying to hide in the coat rack.
No, I'm not.
Tie him up.
Welcome to the club, pal.
Because of the Vicks vapor rub, he's not dead. It formed a greasy ring of protection on his skin and a methylated mist around his head. We have to walk around him. Bertie, whack him on the back so he expels the bad air.
Not until the kitchen.
He coughed. He's alive.
Give him room, everyone.
Virginia? What's happened?
You were poisoned.
You almost died.
While you were unconscious, I found out some things about your feelings for me.
Could we have a little bit of privacy, please? This wasn't my idea of privacy.
This is as good as it's gonna get, dear.
You never told me you had feelings for me.
I hadn't realized it until you had left. You're only supposed to be gone for a couple months, but you were gone for almost 2 years.
Thanks to Heathcliff. Your brother is insane, you know.
No, he's not. He's just a little spoiled.
More than a little. He tried to kill you.
Heathcliff? Why?
Because I have nothing. Yours all of Withering Heights. I thought if you were dead before you were married, it would all be mine. I didn't know it was bankrupt, but I'm not insane. If I weren't tied up, I'd put cheese curds up your nose.
See? Insane.
And I took your precious money. How do you think I bankrolled a 2-year trip across the world? I just didn't know I used all the money.
So, Virginia, I'm destitute.
It's an unorthodox marriage proposal, but I accept. Yes, I'll marry you.
There's still Catherine to worry about. I can't let her lose her inheritance.
I told them our marriage is a fake.
You did? Why?
Because I thought you were dead, and certain people here thought I killed you.
I will tell the authorities if you try to pretend you're married to Catherine, Algernon. Why should I be the only one stuck in a lousy marriage?
Well, it seems we're trapped.
I have something to show you.
What are they?
They're diamonds I found in the Amazon. They're worth a fortune. Enough to buy both estates, which I will do, and then, Catherine, I'll give you yours, and Algernon, we'll still have Withering Heights.
I paid for the trip, so the diamonds are mine.
You've admitted to stealing the money from Algernon to pay for the trip, dear.
It was Algernon's money that funded the trip. That's what I call
Everyone, quiet. The universe is speaking to me. Yes? Oh, delightful. I'll tell them. Algernon and Virginia will be very happy. Catherine, you can become a doctor if you just don't give up. Petunia, you'll go from being a terrified young woman to being a successful writer. Heathcliff spends years in an institution and eventually gets better and joins the Roving Society of Poets and Yeomen.
Bravo!
Bravo! What about me and, you know?
Well, that's up to you two.
I can make that work.
I see a divorce in my future. I become a free man.
You'll become no such thing, Spencer.
Not listening, Scarlet. Never listening again.
I can change. If a ragamuffin servant girl can make it work, so can I.
Ragamuffin?
You're perfect. A perfect little ragamuffin.
Well then, let's all go into the parlor. This, it seems, will be a far more special weekend than any of us could have imagined.
You see, Betty, good things happen when you think positive thoughts.
Yes, they do, Bertie. Yes, they do.
Are you just gonna leave me here? I haven't even had a snack. Oh, come on. Nobody died. Hello?